All right, everyone, welcome. Welcome to the first session of the Unstoppable Branding Experience, guys. I'm Rhonda. If you guys don't know me already, you probably should. Those of you that are here know me. But those of you that be watching this as the recording, it's really great to have this session to start. I've been doing branding for many, many years now before I actually knew what I was doing. And this has become a pure passion for me. I absolutely love, without a shadow of a doubt, working with business owners that want to create an online presence and a brand for themselves. And of course, I have brick and mortar as well that really just want to understand what it takes to connect and communicate through their brand and using their story, using online forms of sharing and media so that you can really understand how to connect with your customer. And guys, I absolutely adore doing this. This is one of my favorite things to do, really now in all business for me. And I want to really welcome you guys. Hold tight, real quick, guys. I need to get this one. All right. Okay, cool. So let me get this back on. All right, awesome. Okay, so I'm back. It's funny. You guys will know we're in the Canary Islands and it's quite warm. And Brian just shut up the whole house so that he can go on the front terrace, so I'm not bothering them. And all of a sudden, I just instantly went, "Oh, I'm dying in here! It's so hot." So, anyways, we're gonna get a fan. Okay, so as you can tell, I do things very off the cuff, very connected, guys, in this workshop. So I want to welcome everyone to workshop one. Right, this is our first week, and actually tonight is a little bit differently than it's going to be for the next 4 additional weeks. Now, everyone always says, "Oh, hey, why is it 5?" And you say it's 4. I always take this call, guys, as really your warm up call, like kind of doing some push ups, we're doing some jumping jacks together, we're getting to meet each other, we're understanding and setting the groundwork and the foundation for you to be powerful in the next 4 weeks working together. So what I always do is I always start today. So you guys are kind of getting an extra kicky bonus, right? You get an extra call with me to really get you started and get you moving. I never like anyone to get started in the workshop and then leave going, "Ugh, I still needed more." You will always get every single thing that you really need to run and to really get out of what you came here for. And I'm going to find out from all of you what you really came here for in a moment. But more importantly, guys, once you're a student, you're always a student. So that means I have a number of people that actually get started in the workshop and they either aren't able to be here on all the live sessions or they just really don't commit to the full time that we have together, and they come back and they're allowed to come back at any time. Thank you. I have a philosophy: once you're a student, you are always a student. That means that you're able to do drop-in classes anytime you really want to, and you can log into the members area, and I'm going to show you in a moment where you can always find the links for each class, and you'll be able to look at each week and see what session that we're in. And one thing to take note of, though, if you are just turn that down, please. That would be great. Just turn it down. Nice. Well, if you guys are a past student, just know that when you do arrive into the class, that the priority is for the current students, so that you will be able to sit in, listen in, participate when time allows. But the students, the newer students for the class, will have priority. Okay, to start with. All right, so I'm going to go through a couple pieces of housekeeping so you guys are really comfortable. Okay, all right, so let's um, let's go this. I want to make sure everyone knows exactly where to go when it comes to the. Turn my face off here. You guys will be able to kind of watch me. Okay, I know in the beginning some people actually had some issues with logging in. I've spoken to my programmer. Unfortunately, he had a lot of things happening, so it took him a little bit longer to get some things repaired. The logins are now repaired, so all of you guys can actually come in and you guys can actually come in and log into the members area now with your own personal, yeah, hold on. Okay, sorry guys. We'll work out a better spot and a better way for us to, for me to have our call once this new router gets placed into our location. Okay, so now anyone can actually come in and log in to the members area and put your own information in. So if you haven't already logged in, guys, you're going to come in. You're going to click. We're going to use the password workshop. That'll be a generic password for you guys to get started, and then you'll be able to log in using your own information, such as mine. Now mine goes under my own personal logins. And this is so hilarious. Okay, that fan is becoming now a Tweety bird. Oh, the fun that we have. Seriously, guys, it's so funny. So many people go, gosh, I don't know how you guys are able to run your business all the time, no matter what you do all over the world. Well, it's always hilarious. I can basically tell everyone because it's just super funny stuff happens. But anyways, perfect. Thank you. That looks great. I think I can handle it. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Brian. Brian is doing his best right now to really help get this environment right. And for all of you that know, environments are like the absolute best. So we need a good environment. Thank you. You're the best. If you only knew. Dr. Dispenza would be so proud. Our brains are definitely always growing every day. Okay, so basically, everyone, just of all of you now, I just want to make sure all of you on the line here knows how to navigate the members area. And have you already logged in? Just give me a yes if you've already logged in, and you've seen how the members area, the information back there. You can go ahead and put your hand up. Some of you have. Okay, great. Excellent. Okay, excellent. And if you haven't, I want to show you guys now. So what you'll do, this is how we navigate. This is how things are going to work, okay? Is this members area is really a place for you to get really focused. There's a lot of extras in here that you'll be able to get access to whenever you're ready. We're only going to focus on right now the week's material. At any time, you guys can obviously dig around. I've got some really incredible things I have never really shared with anyone inside of this members area. In fact, I have some of our bonus YouTube videos. Actually, those you guys are here, we got to keep this quiet, but there's a reason why people want to come into this work just to get the members area, is because if you know Jabril Agoro, he used to run this workshop with me, and we've got some really classy, great content videos that Jabril has shot for YouTube and how to use Facebook and how to use YouTube in that area as well. That is an ultra bonus to anyone else. If you don't know who Jabril is, just look him up. He's very, very well known in the internet industry of really helping people become very successful and getting their information out on the airwaves as well, along with their brand. So you guys can access whatever's inside of the members area. But this is how things are going to work, guys, is each week you're going to come in here. This is week 1. What I do is we're going to set this foundation tonight so that you're going to build upon this week. And what's going to happen next week is we will be discussing week 1. So you're going to have homework before we leave tonight, right? And once we leave, you're going to have a mind full of new ideas, a new expansion of how you're thinking about what a brand is and what you're going to really do for yourself to really get you connected to your core message and really who you want to be to your customer, right? To create that brand identity. Many people believe that a brand is this, logo right here. Well, of course, this is part of my brand, right? Unstoppable. The look of this is our brand, although what comes from our brand is our core message, who we are, our story, and what we want to offer to our customers. So there's a lot of different ways that you can share your brand. And within the members area, you're going to really go through each week the homework. We're going to discuss it in class. You're going to go through each week and come back, and you're going to be prepared to share what you learned in that week's homework, right? What we discussed and how you applied it. And I will be here live 90 minutes each week to really coach you in those areas. So what that means is this: do you need to be prepared? Absolutely. This is not a listen shop. This today's more of a listen shop. This is a workshop. So when we come, you come ready to work and share the things that you are have worked on, so we can start building on your brand. This workshop, guys, I always have certain agenda that I want to be sure that we cover. Although this workshop is about you and the development that you've got in your brand. So for those of you that come totally rock star ready to discuss and to get things nailed down, guess what happens? We really work with you. If you're not ready and you haven't shot, let's say, a video for the week, and you're not prepared to discuss the work that we talked about, unfortunately, you'll just have to, catch up. But the great part about that is this. What I find is the way I work this workshop, and the reason why I do it this way is because I find that we have so many things to do, guys. All of us have so many things that we have to do in the day, not for our families, for our business, and now to add on something new, which is really kind of a cosmetic to your business, right? For me, I believe it's the root of everything that we do. But some people are like, I just want to start getting out there, right? I've been doing it for a long time. So sometimes it's an add-on for many people. And we don't always have a ton of extra time. So I respect the 90 minutes that you're here with me, and I want to get things done with you. So when you come here, I'm here with you, eye to eye. You can see me. I can't necessarily see you, but I'll hear you, and we will get some work done, and we'll cover some of the things that you really need to cover. All right? All right. Awesome. Make sure you guys are good to go. Yay. Okay, good. All right. Am I back? Good. Yeah, am I good, guys? Someone said I froze up, so to make sure that I'm still here, hands up. I'm going to use you guys. For those of you, okay, awesome. I will, all of you typically will be unmuted, which is always kind of how it works. You guys will be unmuted so that you can at any time go, hey, stop. I can't hear you, or you're cutting out, or turn off your video. And thank you for that, because, sometimes the monkeys do hold our wires together crazy. Actually, we're in the Canary Islands, so people think that it's the canary birds. It's actually a dog. Go figure. So maybe the dogs are biting on the cords. Okay, so for week one, I'm gonna get going in just a moment, because I know we're just. I wanted to take this first 30 minutes to really get you comfortable. This Facebook page here, I want every one of you, when you log in, I want you to go on over there. That's the page that we really add all of our videos. I do a lot of communication there with you. You guys will all look at each other's videos there. You'll critique each other. This is not just about me looking at you. A lot of times you get some of the absolute best feedback from each other. And I have been doing this workshop for over 2 years now. I've got some ultra great successes with a lot of different people. And what their biggest compliment always was is that when you come together, we each get to watch each other and see what we do and critique each other, right? And that will give you guys some of the best advice that you've ever gotten, is because now you not only have some guidance, but now you have 20 eyeballs that from your class that's learning at the exact same pace that you are, and you'll be able to really get some stuff done together. I've had a number of people break off and do things together, and it really is powerful. And then you create alliances as well. So it's a great thing. Okay, so this week, guys, today, what we're going to be covering really is digging through our brainstorming what makes us unique. We're going to start tapping deeply into your story, just so you can see how the structure is here. There is a section here that you'll be able to input notes. I break this workshop down into bite-sized pieces, because what happens is many people, they're eager, they've got a lot of ideas. What happens is they've got a big plate, and the plate's too full. So they're unable to really start focusing on, what is my core message? How do I get myself in front of my customers in a way that allows them to know what my brand is and what I stand for, right? A logo is one thing. A clear, concise tagline and a core message that you deliver consistently to a specific customer, right? So when you're doing videos, or when you're communicating either on a post or however you communicate in your business, you will be speaking directly to a specific customer. And we're going to know who those customers are. We're going to discuss them. You guys are really going to be able to get very clear as to who those people are, and really how your brand, your overall brand, is going to connect with them. Okay, that's what we're going to accomplish. And you guys will leave here with an ultra clear vision as to who you are going to be into the marketplace, what kind of marketing techniques and what direction you will go on your marketing side, right? Because there's two different sides in business. One is really just your full brand of who you are, your image, how you connect, how you share what your specialty is. And then there's your marketing side as well, right? So we really we're going to attack that connecting, that attracting, that really core branded side of your business in whatever industry, whatever business you're in. Everyone has to have a core and understand what their brand truly is. So in order for you to be a marketer of your business, your service, or your products, right? So I look at it as our foundation. So what you'll do is each week you're going to be able to input into these fields. Now, I want to take note right now, big red flashing light. The fields, the fields are large, although some people write quite a bit. And because the way this is set up, it's not unlimited amount of fields that you can type in. What my recommendation would be is this. Type it in here, copy and paste it, make sure you have it in a document or an email of some sort. Okay, so that you can re-reference it. And then what I will do is I go inside the members area and I kind of go through the notes that you guys took. And when we come to class together, you're ready to really discuss some of the notes that you've taken, and so you're prepared. But to make sure, I always safeguard that you guys write and save it on a document before you save it on the page, because we have found in the past where the fields are just too long. We've got 5,000 characters, and some people just write pages and pages, and unfortunately that's just not how this is set up to be able to handle that many pages of writing. And so it could block you off or just erase everything you've written, and we don't want that to happen. That's a really horrible feeling, believe me. It's happened a lot this week already. So at any rate, this is some work you're going to work on next week. I'm going to leave this with you now. I just want to make sure that you understand how to navigate through this members area each week. And yes, Jeff, this is that Facebook page right here. When you go in and click on it, that is the Facebook page. Okay, you'll find that specific Facebook page that you will. That's where I just share a lot of little notes of the day and a lot of different videos and whatnot that I want you guys to learn from, but also it's a space where you guys share as well. Okay, so with that being said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of switch gears a little bit, and I'm going to take some time to really go through some of the work that we're going to go through together. Here we go. Let's switch. I'm going to go with some slides here. This is a really kind of a good foundation. We do not always use slides, guys, but again, because of the foundation that I want to set for you, let's get through some stuff, and you're all going to be able to speak in just a moment. So I want you guys to just really kind of get comfortable in a moment, and then I'm going to have you guys coming out here and start sharing. Okay, so the way I look at branding and how we will start attacking this workshop is we all really work together like a puzzle piece, right? Where, whoops, we got a little skip of slides here. Where the puzzle pieces are all scattered right now. And a lot of you guys have different businesses. Most of you guys are working online. I know the group here tonight, I mostly know most all of you guys and what you're involved in, what you're doing. A lot of you guys work directly with me already, which is great. And the pieces tend to be all over the place. Now, when it comes to this workshop here, I'm not going to do technical stuff with you because you'll be wasting my time and yours asking me technical issues that you can find elsewhere. What I'm here to is to share with you and to teach you the things that I really know, which is how to really clearly define what your brand is so that you can be recognized and really be able to be noticed throughout your not only just the internet if you're working mainly on the internet, but really everywhere, because everything that you do and put together has a core message, and we're going to work directly within your core message as to how you're going to communicate to your customers. And then of course your brand starts to unfold visibly, right? Because that's part of it, as well as really internal, what the content really is. Okay. All right. So, again, we will really work strongly together to allow all of this to come through. Now, a number of you guys have seen this image before, but I absolutely love using this image because it really says a lot, and it starts to open up our minds quite a bit. And it really is about taking and just letting go a lot of the thoughts that you might have, we come here with absolutely zero ego, right? Everyone leaves their ego at the door, because this is why I have worked with top marketers across the industry, top income earners that had no idea really what their brand was or what their core message was. They were buying traffic for, let's say, a business they had, or they were having another company do some work for them. And they came with absolutely no ego. So, what we do here is, because everyone is at a different level in their business, and everyone comes here to learn from each other. And when we allow ourselves, let that ego down, no one is right, no one is wrong, no one can ask a wrong question, right? Unless it's already been answered, or unless it's something that you can find in some of the work that we did. But there's really no wrong answers, or there are no wrong questions, right? It's really about opening your mind. So I want everyone to get really connected to opening your mind up and being really aware of what comes up. Because the coolest part about the work that I do is that you might in the beginning be going, and you're really thinking it logically. I want to logically figure this out. I need to know what my colors should look like and what my tagline should say now. Well, unfortunately, it's not always that way. So when we go through the process, you have to really allow it to unfold. So I do things slightly backwards. We work in different areas to help develop what your brand really should be, which includes your branded name if you don't already have one, right? Your core message, how you're going to share it, shooting your story videos, right? Your tagline, and really beginning to create a signature of really what you're known for. And then, of course, it's the logo, the look of it. The logo and the look, oddly enough, is really one of the last things that we cover. Because what happens, guys, is you begin to change the way you think. Now, do you think that I ever considered that my branded logo would actually be a stop sign? Completely not. That is like the farthest I'd ever want to consider putting in my business as a stop sign. You know what? It works. And it came because I went to an event and I was like, I've got to have a new image. We really need a new image for our business, because this is why we had been in the industry for almost 3-4 years on the online industry working. Our brand was Swan Lifestyle, rather vanilla, right? Swan's my last name, lifestyle. We were living this lifestyle, right? Quit our jobs. We had this big house in San Diego. And so we did a lot of fun stuff because we had time. So it was about the Swan lifestyle. And it was connecting. People connected with us, and we obviously did quite well. And then we had a baby. And all of a sudden we were like, wait, my target market's different. The way I communicate is different. It's not just about me flying off and going snowboarding immediately, which we still do. But it was about a different group. I wasn't talking to the young 20s, early 30s anymore that were trend setting. I was really talking to a different crowd, and I didn't know how to figure it out. I was like, gosh, who is it? Who should I be to my customer? How can I develop a new brand and a name and a logo and an image for my customer? And I had to open my mind up. I went to an event, and sure enough, I was sitting in the seats of this event. I was in front row because I always go to front row because I want to know and I want to see and I want to connect with every person. And it dawned on me who we should be. And the Unstoppable family was born because of me watching a woman named by the name of Cynthia Kersey, who wrote the book Unstoppable. And I was so inspired that day that I realized that we were the Unstoppable family. And from there, it all started to come together, right? Here we are, we're a family now. I started to define things, and I started to really figure out a systematic way to help other people find the same. So is it going to be step A, step B, step 3, step, 4, 5, CDF? Not necessarily. It might be a little bit like this, right? Very different than you might be used to. So if you're that type of person that wants something very logical, well, we'll do some logical things. If you want something very spiritual and you want to connect with it, you want it to flow, that'll happen too. But either way, allow both to happen for you. Are you guys cool with that? Little hands up if you guys are good with this. Yeah? All right, cool. All right, good. All right, good. Mostly everyone's like, all right, we're cool with this. Yeah. All right, great. All right, guys. So What I want to do now is I would like to take a bit of time. There's only 12 of you on the call tonight, which is an awesome number. I max out this workshop with 20. We are full. I have 2 spots open for live members because some others have to listen recorded, and some couldn't be here. So we have a couple spaces still open, but this is one of the best numbers, is 10 to 12 on a class, because then we can really interact and get a lot of work done for you. All right. So what I'd like to do is kind of have whoever would like to jump out really share with me what it is you're here for, and what is your idea right now of branding. And it's okay if you don't know. If you know a lot, great. Keep it to like under 3 minutes so we can have enough time for everyone. Right? We don't want to capitalize everyone's time. But if you do know, just tell us a bit, and maybe you have an idea. Tell me a bit about what your idea could be, because the more the group knows, the better. The more I know, the better. And I take massive notes. I learn every one of you, and I research you guys. You'll start seeing me hockey on Facebook or making comments and going, ooh, you should have put a link there. Where's your link? Right? I'll pretend like I'm a fan if you're on Facebook. Okay, cool. So let's get started there. All right, Horacio, cool, buddy. Good to have your hand up first. Leadership is powerful, and you are definitely one of those. Okay, buddy. All right, come on out. Will you mind sharing with us a bit?
Thanks, Rhonda. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you're solid.
Awesome. All right, so I remember my definition of branding from advertising school. I actually went to school for advertising, but embarrassingly enough, I need a lot of help here. So no ego, like I said. The definition of branding I remember from school was basically all of the asset and worth of a company or individual if all of its material possessions were removed. What would be left? And that being the identification, the strength of a company or individual again. Once, and if everything else was removed, the core, the essence. I guess that's my definition. It's what people remember. It's what you stand for. It's your value. It's your and then everything. Obviously, all of the marketing communications that go along with it, the logo, the tagline, etc. But it's the core. It's the message. It's the feelings that it brings out in people that are exposed to you. I'll stop there.
Okay, I was actually.
Go on with what,
this is great. Yeah,
what I'm doing, or
it was so good. I was trying to get quickly to the fan page because there's a really great image that I posted today that says exactly what you're saying. It really comes down to the root of it. But yeah, would you mind, Horacio, sharing with everyone what is it that what do you really want to get out of this? What are you looking to come from?
Out of this seminar? I mean, out of this workshop?
Yep.
Gosh, I started a fan page, and I started a sort of a tagline that now revolved in my head. I haven't changed it on Facebook. I am trying to figure out what my identification, what my brand is, because I am, I'm a former corporate guy, former real estate guy. I'm originally from border town, Mexico border, speak Spanish. I've been all over the world. I've marketed to different parts of the world. So I don't want to. I want to find something for myself, a brand that doesn't limit me too much, even just domestically here in the U.S. Something that I can take a little more global, because those are my goals. Both on our team in the group that we belong to. But also, I mean, that's me, right? I've lived in a lot of parts in the world, and I speak a few languages, and so I don't want to limit myself to sort of the former real estate guy that's now doing other things that failed and then did okay in real estate. I'm troubled with how much to narrow it without narrowing it too much, but then also not keeping it so open that it sounds like I'm trying to cater to everyone.
Right. Yeah, I get it. No, this is great, and we will really work on this, Rossio, because what happens, guys, is this: is of course, we want an umbrella, right? So you create your brand, which is the umbrella of really what your core is and who you really are, and how you're going to share it. Well, then the umbrella then starts to have, just like a tree. Let's say you have here's the bush out here. That's really your brand. It covers everything, right? Now you start with your brand in the roots because that really creates the deepest connection to creating the best, most flourishing tree. But what happens is once you get your umbrella, or you get that over that the leaves that are flourishing, inside is where you start to create those messages, those different messages that can be incorporated under this bigger umbrella. So that's what we need to do for you, Horacio, because you do have a really narrowed focus group, which is real estate, and we want you to be known for something, right? And so we'll work deeply on that. That was really good. And this allows, when someone else speaks, guys, it helps you kind of get what you want to do too. So everyone listen. And if what they say applies to you, then, let's give either a, comment about that, because a lot of times we'll all have some of the same feelings to express. I want to make sure that you all really are getting out of this what you came here for. So awesome. Thank you, buddy. Okay, cool. So Jeff, yeah, for sure. Jeff, why don't you come on out, buddy, and share with us what are your thoughts on branding, right? And I want to mute you, Horacio. I think you had some feedback. What are your thoughts on branding right now? And really, what is it that you want to really accomplish here?
Thanks, Rhonda. Yeah, we do have some feedback here, don't we?
I will mute out. Let's see. I'll mute out just in case.
That's much better. Well, I still have a little bit running around. But anyway, all right. On the branding, for me, the Empower Network is a new career. I'm 59 years old. I'll be 60 in April. Done a lot of very interesting things in life. Had a fair amount of success. But the last 5 years, frankly, have been extraordinarily difficult. And so, in some respects, it is a startler. In other respects, though, I've been planning for this for probably 10 or 15 years. The whole idea has been, that as my youngest son graduates from high school and goes to college, I was going to go to the Caribbean. And in fact, on my computer, I've got a Jonathan in College countdown that I started when it was about 2.5 years ago. And it's now down to 9 months, 4 days, 21 hours, 14 minutes, and 56 seconds, approximately. So this is the move to the Caribbean has been kind of pre-programmed for a long time. And one of the things that I'm very excited about is that, and you mentioned it earlier today, to open your mind. Again, the last 5 years has been extraordinarily difficult. I've been under an incredible amount of stress, both financially and relationally. And I'm starting now to, and this is really helping, transition to what really is the next thing. And so, as you know, the brand that I've chosen is Caribbean Beach Exec. And that actually is a name that I didn't choose recently. That's a name I chose several years ago, and you get a kick out of this. As I was going through a nasty divorce, that was the name I used online as my tagline, the Caribbean Beach Exec. And in fact, the woman I'm with right now, and we'll be taking to Costa Rica with me in 9 months. We met online that way, so it's very, very cool. So Caribbean Beach Exec kind of is that global umbrella for me. And so the question then becomes, okay, so how do you take that and plug it into this network? I do have some, IT background, just hunting and pecking and trying things. I created a website several years ago called CaymanIsBest.com, and originally the thought was I'm going to learn by myself how to market on the internet. Well, the good news is we created a website. Good news is that we created ebooks and special reports and a variety of things. The bad news is it didn't go anywhere. I mean, despite pay-per-click and all that stuff, I was more for AdWords, and I was getting out of AdSense.
Hey Jeff, I'm hearing your
Yeah.
story and I like it. What I want to do is I want us to stay super focused on the question, right? Right now is I get where you're at, right? We're going to continue to develop this.
Yep.
We're going to work on your brand, and I hear that Caribbean Beach Exec is something you've chosen. What I want to ask of you: are you open and willing to either keep that and narrow that to make it super solid, or are you looking to maybe create and develop something new? Which one? Or both?
The former rather than the latter.
Okay.
I mean, am I open to the other? Yes. I mean, I'm here to learn. So
Yeah. Okay.
if we
Cool.
can develop something new that's better, fantastic.
Okay, awesome. And I think that it sounds like it's connected to you. The more you start developing the story, the more you start developing now finding what your core message is, all of a sudden that's either going to make ultimate sense, or it's going to be a little bit vague, or it's going to be not anything at all. And that's the cool part about the process. So that's going to be sure that, remember, I can hear you're kind of a logical guy. You want to make sure we're knocking all the steps off, and we will. And again, what we do here is really about developing your core so that you can then start marketing and pushing it out to the world. And so let's get that stuff nailed down so that you are like crystal clear and super solid, that bam, now when you go out there, you know what your message is, you know everything that you need to say so that you can be effective in the marketplace and you can connect with the right customers, not everyone. See, my dad was a hunter, right? As I grew up, and so there's that shotgun theory, right? Or it's the rifle, I think, where let's go straight at it, right? Or bow and arrow, like you go right at one spot, opposed to just, hey, everyone, this is something I have for you. We find the one person that you have, or the 4 people that you might have a solution for, and that's how we start targeting. Your brand is engulfed around really those 4 core people and that core message that you got. Of course, you'll hit others, right? I hit a lot of people, but I've got like 4 narrowed segments that I really target that hit my brand. Once you get that, guys, stuff just pops right out for you. And all of a sudden, you're like, why do I all of a sudden have all this traffic to my website or to my blog or to your product line or to whatever it might be, or more people are connected to you differently if you're offline, right? I have a couple brick and mortar here that work, and all of a sudden they're like, why are some people connecting to me? It's because of the way you present your brand and your core message to the world. So it's a super fun process. So it's awesome. Jeff, I'm so happy to have you here to hear your vision as well, which is really even more exciting because I love it. Awesome. Okay, Beth, come on out here, sister. I want to hear from you. And if we have feedback, guys, I can't. I'll mute myself out because I think that feedback sometimes gets crossed in the wires. I'll make sure we stay nice and clean. So go for it, sister. Tell me about what is it that you feel about branding now, what big or little you know, and then what do you really want to accomplish here, and kind of what ideas do you have so far?
Okay, cool. Well, yeah, I think a lot of people know that I really know nothing. And when I came on board through Justin, I was, the feeling that I'm getting now is the reason I was drawn into Empower Network. I'm going to have to find my own niche, as opposed to I can use law of attraction marketing, and I may believe in that, but I need to target a different group for several reasons. But yeah, I actually have an idea. I'm just not really sure how to make it effective. So I have the idea of what I want to present and the target market, but I'm afraid it might be too big.
Okay. Yeah, this is really good. And because you and I actually got to work together a bit. You got a lot of everything that I do all in one kind of gulp when I did my workshop in Orlando. And this is really good, though, that you have a bit of already understanding of where you want to go. Because then, Beth, you're going to get really narrowed down. We're going to be able to just really focus on what's really going to work for you and connect for you. So I'm glad that you're at that space now, and we will continue to build upon that then. Okay?
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay, cool. Does anyone else want to jump on out here? We'll kind of get moving along. It's always I love just to having some people share really where they're at. If you guys want to share, feel free. Yeah, look, awesome. Hey,
Rhonda, can you hear
Pauline.
me?
How are you, girl?
Hi,
How are
can you hear me
you?
okay?
I can hear you now. Earlier, I couldn't hear you at all.
No, there's a slight time lag, so yeah, I can hear myself back.
Here, I'm going to mute myself then.
Okay, well, I'm delighted to be on the call. I am the Dynamic Doula, and my branding for me, I have my title, I know my target market, I absolutely adore what I do. My only issue is my story. I get lost in my story, and it's really getting across who I am, what I do, and that I'm the right person to come to. I primarily want to work with women who have suffered miscarriage and who want to go on to have the next baby, the next healthy pregnancy. So I work from preconception to 6 weeks old. But my whole essence is to bring it back to nature. What I do is very spiritual. I use Reiki, I use charting and family planning, I use hypnobirthing, I use NLP. So it's really getting my message across, Rhonda. That's where I'm getting lost. I've written out my story, and even writing it out, I'm kind of looking at it going, wow, which elements do I take and how do I get that across?
All right. Well, awesome. It's so good to have you here. I love what you bring to the table. You've written me a lot of things that allowed me to really connect. And I kind of was, really looking at what you are all about. And this is what's so fabulous is when you have an idea, right, of really who you are. You kind of know who you are, right? We should. But then it's like, well, how does my story connect the best? And guys, we're going to really focus deeply on your story this next week. You will be very clear as to how to get your story written out. We will get it in video, we'll get it in print. You will then start learning on how to identify what areas of your story are the most important, what areas are really not so important that we need to share. A lot of people will start sharing their story and they just share everything and it doesn't connect with that audience that they need. So we want impactful shares, impactful words, and impactful videos that allow people to connect with you. So it's great that's what you're looking to work on, because that's what we'll hit, and really make sure that you are clear. Because what I like everyone to do is to kind of just like get naked, right? Take off everything that we think that we know, and then just come in and say, okay, this is my story. Now let's talk about the important pieces that are going to connect with my customer, right? Because you guys are all here as a business owner, so we're looking to connect our story with the right customer. See, and that's the piece that some people get wrong. They just start telling their story. Now, not wrong, that just doesn't take them to the level they want to be at. So we start there with just telling it all out. We kind of get it all out, get it in video, we get it on paper, and then we look at it. And we're going to go through some ways and we're going to talk. Now we'll be able to really interact with you, with your story. You guys will be able to bring your story next week to me, to the group, and share it with us. You're going to have a whole week to really start thinking about it and getting it either put in video and or print so that you can now make it very connected to your customer. So great to have you here. I'm super happy that
Rhonda, can you hear me?
there you are. Hey, buddy, come on out. Certainly.
Yeah, I had to sneak away from my desk here, but can you say the question again?
Sure. What is it that you know right now about branding, right? If you know anything, and then really, what is it your intentions? What do you really want to achieve here? And if you know a little bit about where you want to go with it, share that.
Okay. Well, what I know about branding is basically I did a lot of research back in the day when I was trying to do WordPress, and I know branding is about getting yourself focused, getting your message tight so that you're attracting people. So I understand that. I was always the type of guy that was looking from the outside in, trying to figure out how to put all the solutions together and all the tools. And so this is what I'm excited about, because ever since I started getting around you guys, everything became so clear. When I went down to Orlando, I was a guy that was outside and instantly inside within 2 minutes of being there. And then being around all the other people there and just absorbing all the things. It was great. Now getting to my story is like twofold. One, I'm like everybody else. I'm like in the corporate world. I want to get out. I have all the daily struggles. I have 5 kids, a wife, a dog, and money is short every month, and I want to make lots of money so I can do the things that I love to do and do more of it. The other part of it is on a personal level, um, is getting my is being having a voice, being heard. Like I think I shared this with you before. I was abused when I was a kid, and so my whole life was about working hard, working hard, working hard, and justifying who I was or who I am, to now accepting my past and just learning that, hey, you know what, I can just be, because everything I did, I was like you guys are all normal, but when I was growing up, I had to work extra hard because I was dealing with a self-image problem, and I was in a mental deficit, working my way out of a hole, which I didn't think I was going to get out of. I'm kind of trying to hold tears back right now, but like that's my whole fight, that's my whole struggle, and that's where I came up with live well, be fulfilled, because it dawned on me because I went through counseling and all this stuff, and it's something really that's something that really resonated with me, that whole thought process. And then just recently, the other tagline with that is, um, living on purpose, because before I didn't even know if I had a purpose, I didn't even know if it's good enough for a purpose. So now I'm on purpose with power to profit. And so, like, I just put those two together. Now I'm open to suggestions, but that's just something that really hit home. And I know who I need to talk to, and these are the corporate people that are struggling, but I also have a soft heart for people that have been like abused, and I want to help them get out of their state of mind, and say, hey, you know what? I've done it. Anybody can do this.
Yeah, wow, man, awesome. I really thank you for sharing that. And it's really cool when you start to actually share details and you're okay with it. And the interesting part is, too, Robert, is that I find is that everyone has something that was inside their life growing up that was really, really tough. And I want you to just be open to know that there's no judgments, right? Everyone's probably has something. The fact that you're actually
Yeah.
willing to share it is very powerful. And so you made a statement, and I'm like, wow, he has no idea. You said, it might be easy for you, or it's so easy for you. Always remember, it really truly is what we make it, right? And everyone
Hmm.
had a hard time. Everyone has a hard time that they've gone through, no matter what level, because for them it was really hard. But the greatest part about it is that when we understand that piece, that vulnerability piece, that we can really connect with people, that then becomes one of your best assets,
Hmm.
right?
Well, one of the takeaways I got from the function, when I was down there, is everything that I've gone through was meant for a reason, and it's shaped me and formed me to who I am today. So everything that happened is preparing me for today, and from this day forward. So that's what I'm really excited about, like just changing and learning, and just becoming like heard. And my whole goal is to get on stage and share my story to thousands, because there's probably some out there just like me who's not being heard, or don't believe that they can do it. But if I can do it, anybody can do it.
Yeah, man, right on. Awesome. Absolutely. Well, this is great foundation, guys, to get us going. And it helps me just when we interact this way, and then you all get to hear who's here, right? And some of you guys, you all have a chance to talk, in the future sessions, of course. But this is a really great start. And it's good for me to get a perspective as to where you are. Because what's going to happen now is you're all going to pop at a different time. Something's going to come out for you. You're like, wow, I got it. And you guys are like, gosh, why did they have their tagline? Why do they know who they're calling themselves? And then all of a sudden, one moment, you're just going to go, I got it, right? So be open to that. That's why I take this much time. I give us 5 sessions, and usually I do a lot more because I do so much more work with you guys. It's so important for you to get this. And the fact that you are allowing me, and you're putting your trust in me to help you get this so that you can now create a foundation for your life and your business. We're all doing this for a life, right? You are doing what you're all doing, whatever industry, whatever product, whatever service you're offering. It's because it means something to you. I know that because no one would really care about branding if they were just trying to make money. I know that. That's why I actually love this workshop so much, because I know that those that say, I'll do it and I'm in, are the ones that are truly here to make a difference. So, with that being said, what I want to do now is build upon this, at least for the next 30 minutes, guys, so we can really get a foundation of where we're going. And then what I'll do is I'll send you off on your way, and you'll have the first week's homework to really start digging through and be prepared for next week. And you'll post up some videos this week on our fan page and really get everyone connected. Okay, so I want to dig a little bit deeper into branding and how we look at our branding. All right. Make sure you guys can still hear me. We're still good. Okay, we had a power shortage. What we do is we really look introspective, right? And when we really look inside and start to understand really who we are, is how our stories begin to develop. So all of you are going to actually start looking inside before you look out. Now, I know a lot of you guys are way out here. You're way over there in marketing land. Hey, I'm placing this Facebook ad and I'm trying to connect to that customer over there. And there's so many of them. And you got to bring it in. Okay? Because you don't know how to talk to that Facebook ad or that person out there unless you really get what your story is. Now, can you? Yes, you can. If you want to really get deep into this, we got to stay here. We got to stay in that root of that image that I shared with you a moment ago. My computer kept dropping out. We got to get through the roots first so we can begin to flourish and we can get to that marketing, that leg and that limb out here. Okay. And let's really go there. Okay. So there's 3 areas that we look into. We look at really what is our motivation? What is our position right now? And what is our connection to where we are? Okay. So let's look at motivation. We take a look at really obviously what we're passionate about. You guys all chose things that you're very passionate about. And then it comes to your values. You know, you wouldn't be offering an opportunity, a product, or a service if it didn't connect with your values. So we take a look at when we're really starting to digest deeply, where do I want to be now in 5 years? So when we're starting to, in relation to a brand, you want to look at, do I want to be known for this in 5 years? Or can I develop and change? Absolutely, because you might start learning a skill and start off with a very personal brand to then becoming a very technical brand or a product driven brand, right? So there's different styles of brands that you can be. I would say most of our crowd here is usually a personal brand to start with. And I've had many, many, many people that I work with is they turn into having a product brand, which is really awesome because if you think about it, that's really ideally what you should all be doing anyways, right? You should have who you are, what you're doing, share yourself, and then it's your personal brand. And then all of a sudden you're developing either a product, a service, an audio, a book, whatever it might be, right? And then you start maybe tilting more and leaning more into a product driven brand as well. For me, for instance, look at how things work for us. My umbrella brand, right, is the Unstoppable family, right? Our passion is travel. Our passion is living as a family. Our values are obviously family, right? Our values are really us always being able to travel and be together and work together, right? So that's part of my motivation for what I do. Now, when I take a look at my umbrella brand, what's happened is I've gone from my personal brand, which was Swan Lifestyle, we've turned into Unstoppable Family. Now I'm switched and I have now my product branded leg. You will maintain your main brand, but now I have Unstoppable branding, right? That's part of my product side of our brand. And we have a number of different developments that we have, which we do workshops, I do different types of things, right? So I have a whole different things. I have a business opportunity. I've got, a couple other areas that I coach. I do different things. So then you start to branch off, okay? So when we look at what our personal brand really is, which most of you will be, let's take a look at what is our motivation for why we're doing it, okay? And this is really setting our foundation, guys. Next is really, what is my current position now, right? Really, or maybe even my reputation in my industry, okay? Because everyone wants to be known, everyone wants to be seen, right? And what is your position right now? You might be brand spanking new, but guess what? In your reputation of what you've accomplished, you might be brand new in your industry or in that what you're offering, but you're not brand new in who you are. So I want everyone to realize the position that you've got when you start sharing your story, you are powerful. So it gives you permission to just really start talking about what you're passionate about and what you believe in to the right people, right? Because it doesn't really matter if you've been selling or doing what you've done for a long time. If you know what you're doing, if you're passionate, you're good at it, everyone should follow you over and above time, right? I've got people that start with others that I've worked with, not because they could work with me. I've been around for 9 years, but it's because they connected with them better. And I will send them to someone they connect with better. So the only difference I have in my industry and who I am in my business is just time with you, right? I am good at what I do, and you are good at what you do. And that's what we're going to accomplish here, guys, is establishing what is it you are good at in your uniqueness. And the position that you're at now is much higher probably than you even know, right? So we're going to look at what are some traits that I have that differentiate myself from other people. So now you might be at the exact same level. Let's say we're all here in the same position, but there's something about what you've done in your life that moves you in a different area. It doesn't take you above or below, it just separates you. See, and this is when we begin to be great business owners and marketers when we're starting now. Everything that we do is on purpose. Okay? So we start looking at, in the beginning, you look at what are maybe some of my great accomplishments, right? Maybe what are some of the things that I've got that are noticeable, right? That I could start leaning on. And some of them can be vulnerability pieces, right? Situations that happened to us as we were young. But remember, is that vulnerability piece that you might have something that why people would want to buy from you? Now, in Paula's sense, Paula is a doula, right? She's birthed many, many children. She's probably had many children. She's worked with many children. So people want to work with Paula because of some accomplishments she specifically had in her expertise, right? She's gonna be able to share her story, why people want to have Paula as her doula. Now on Robert's side, is necessarily what has happened to Robert in his history going to make someone buy from you, right? Buy your join you from within your Empower network? Maybe. But or is there a bigger group that is really more connected that group wants to buy what you have? That's a solution that you can solve for them. See, there's a difference when we look at what's important in our story and what's going to be important to our customer. So we're going to bring those together so that you now not only have your life story that can connect with your customer, but it's something that connects with them so they want what you have. Okay? Is that making sense, guys? Hands up or just, it's hoot and holler? Yeah? Okay, good. Yeah, and if it doesn't, we'll always address it. Okay, so the second is really our positioning. Where do we think we're at? Really, where we are right now, and to know that our different traits that we have that differentiate ourselves actually keep us in the same playing field because we are all completely unique. And when you're branding yourself, guys, it's totally different. It's totally different than just let me just place a keyworded ad. This is different. This is creating customers for life. You place ads in your business. I have to. But every day I share my core message, my story. I link everything to the Unstoppable family. The Unstoppable family, people just know what we're all about. You want people to know what you're all about, connect with your story, and just want what you've got now. So whatever you offer, forever, you are creating what I call online real estate, right? And just solid contented real estate that people can find you that's timeless. See, everything that you do here is going to be timeless. Everything you do out, which is the marketing side and the social media and all that other stuff, that's going to be right now, receiving results right now, right? You're creating a brand so that you can begin to establish long-term standing connection with your customers and real estate and content that is you, that's always timeless. Okay? So let's look at number 3. So we're at motivation, we're at introspection, motivation, and positioning, and now connection. Okay, so we look at how do we connect, right? When we're starting to create our brand, it's how can we really connect? How can I add additional value, right? My additional value now is helping people and coaching them on how to travel with children, how to become a marketer using branding, right? This is additional values that I have added to my repertoire. In the beginning, it was my story of wanting to not put my kid in daycare. And that is still part of my core message. So when you begin to learn how I'm going to connect with my audience, then you begin to see the value, right, that you got for them. Okay. So then we look at how can I then nurture my network, right? What are the things that I need to do on a daily basis that nurture that connection? Now, if you're an online marketer, right, you will, and a blogger, which every single person that has a business really should be, you will blog every day, you will shoot a video consistently, you will add additional value as you learn. Everyone should be doing that. And that's what a blog is so important for, no matter what business you have, because it allows people to come to it and see fresh ideas that you've got that are related to your brand and your core message. And when you nurture your network, meaning you post a video every day and you put it on a blog, you share it with a list, then you put it on social media, you spread it out and syndicate it throughout all social media, right? Now you're nurturing your network. You're building and you're creating those roots that are solid forever under your tree. And then your brand begins to obviously flourish and create this massive, amazing, beautiful flower or whatever it is, or a big, huge tree. And then lastly, right, we find out who needs to know me and how can I connect them through my network into my brand. Okay, so this is the things that we're going to really cover, the foundation of how we're going to get some things done. Whoops. All right. So I always start here. And that's why we talk about the root of the tree, right? So we look at the gateways to success, in our spiritual world, in our chakras. There's a reason why we always start with the root, right? Start with our root chakra because that grounds us, right? That brings us back. When we're all up here, all in our head, we're all over the place. When we're rooted, we're grounded, and we're thinking. So the coolest part about what we do and the work we do here is because everyone gets very rooted, your minds are open, you're sharing, you get very connected, and now things start to happen. See, when we're in fight or flight and stress mode, ideas don't come out. We get into creativity mode when we're grounded. Okay, so that's kind of the work that we're going to start doing is getting you really grounded, and you're going to take some time this week and get a lot of this stuff done. Now, you're going to take a lot of hours? Not really. You'll probably take a good hour, really think about it. And, but what happens is it's going to be thought process. See, the work that we do really comes from the ideas that we start thinking of. You're like, boom, boom, they start popping, you start writing them down. As they come out, then you develop those ideas that pop up. You're going to have a lot of time and development together so that the story can really come out. And when we look at our root foundation, of course, it really connects us to what our true self is. And that's why you guys are all looking for a brand, because you want to find out who your true self is so you can connect to who you are, right? And then allow that brand identity to connect to your person, to who you are, your personal identity, to other people around you as well. And of course, it's going to super liberate everyone from fears that you've got for creating wealth with your brand and your business. It's interesting that I say that or that comes up, because what I find is that so many people that want to be grounded and secure in what they do and what their business is all about, they think that by being grounded and by being spiritual, being connected to really what your true purpose and passion is and how to get it out there means that you really should be creating wealth. Some people think that, but no, you should be creating more wealth because you're releasing fears to the world that other people have that they've never been willing to talk about or that they've never been willing to share. If you've got a product or service that's about, sharing who your true self is, you've got to talk about how to do that. You got to talk about how to do that, and then you have a solution for them to get their word out to, right? And that's why we really dig deeply here. That's why we start here every time. Awesome. Yay. Yeah, Beth, awesome. The root is first, right? Bernie. Yeah, right. It's powerful, powerful way to start thinking about business. Some people want us to get less spiritual, which we will. It's not all spiritual, but you have to go there first. Okay. All right, cool. So what I want to do is, okay, we already did that part. I just skipped forward. All right, so what we're going to do, guys, is let's go through really what our uniquenesses are. This is going to be part of your homework, is what's going to make you unique, okay? We're going to go through that process in week 1 of what is our uniqueness, okay? And I worked with several of you this last week, and you guys started to think about it, but you really didn't get narrowed down. So what you want to do is you want to really get out what is it specifically that makes us unique, and then you're going to really start connecting what your uniqueness is to your story. Now, if you've never gotten your story out there, I want you all to just really get really clear about the areas right now that are important in your story. Okay. If it's the first time, you're just going to get it all out. You're going to video it under 5 minutes, right? And you're going to write it out. Now, many of you guys I worked with last week, you started, but you didn't finish. You didn't really get into it. Okay. Because we just had one full workshop day. Now we're going to dig into it and we're going to take it and start dissecting it, and we're going to look at it. We're going to make sure the content you got in it is applicable to your audience, and that if it's for just your first life share story, then it's just going to be a share. But if it's for a purpose, which is getting people to take action on maybe your business, I'm going to sneeze, right? You want them to move forward into taking action. We have to make sure we're giving added content as well. So we're going to do things a little bit differently in a message story and in a marketing story. Okay. And those are very important when you start understanding what your brand really is, because they're going to be similar, but they're going to now take people down a path of looking for a solution. Whereas your initial story of who you are is a connection. So we're going to work with the connection story first. Okay, your story. I keep having to sneeze. It's not really coming out there. All right. So what we look at, guys, is this. Really, what got us to where we are right now? That's typically where I want everyone to start, right? What got me here now? Right? So it may be part of your past, but there was one major decision and reason why you started to do what you're doing right now. There was a breaking point, okay, of why you chose this profession or this career or this business or this right product. There was a reason. A lot of the reason can be because it may be a product that you use that you had to sell it because it changed your life, right? Or maybe it's a service that you offer because you're so passionate about it, and you had an incidence, right, that took place that allowed you to realize you need to focus in this area, right? Or it's a circumstance. For instance, a lot of you guys are with Empower Network, so it's great I can talk directly to you, and I've got a lot of different group here, so I never talk in one specific company usually. But what happens now, let's say for instance, the online marketers, you had a pivotal moment of why you said, I want this. It might have to be something about your children, missing something. Maybe it was financial, but it was more than financial. Because I want everyone to get clear. When you realize people do say yes for financial, but more people say yes because of the passion and the connection. There's a reason, not necessarily because they want to make more money. That's an outcome. People want to connect and go, yeah, that's me too. I'm a hollow. I don't talk to my wife when I walk down the hall every night. See, those are trigger points in a story of why you chose what you're doing. It's not just because I need to make some more money, because businesses are for making money. If not, you'd be in a nonprofit. Is anyone in a nonprofit? Let me know. I don't think you are. So you're here to connect with a customer to produce a result, which is them buying something from you. Okay? So you have to always know that right as well. Is that You want to connect with your customer, but they came here for the same reason as you did. They're looking at what you're doing for the same reason as you did. So now look at your story in a different light. Okay, what is my story? Where did I get to where I am now? What was that pivotal moment that made me go, yes? That's the part that's going to connect the most. That's the piece that you go, okay, that's where I really start. Or maybe a slight back shadow, and then boom, this is your core. Because when you start getting to that core, typically your core message comes from that major one decision. And then, of course, there's a lot of different rings around that core that now develop our story. Okay? And what I want you guys to do is really make your very first video, just kind of getting used to it, is your story and getting it out there, but starting within that one point. Okay, so it's like, where's my little editor here? Let me see if I have my editor up front with me. I don't have it up front, but it would mean like you took a dot, right? Put a circle around it, right? That's your main point. Now you've got your core. You're going to talk about, right, why you started what you're doing. You're going to give a little background of that moment. Tell a story, right? I always tell a story. I remember that moment. I'll never forget the day that I saw a woman not be able to take her leave early for work, a brand new baby, right? Because she had a meeting. That was a breaking point for me. That's part of my core. And then, of course, then rings add to it of what's important to your story, to your customer. Okay, I'm gonna stop here because I know I've just gone through a lot. I want to give you guys a little bit of time. Are you guys starting to feel this? And right now, I don't need a lot of answers. Okay, don't feel that you have to answer right now. It's trickling in, and I do it this way so now you're going to digest everything. This isn't ever usually and really much of a note-taking class because you can do that in the homework in the back of the members area. This part is feeling it and going, I'm starting to get it. Yeah, does anyone want to jump back and give me some feedback? Are you here? Charmaine, you want to jump out of here? See your hand up, girl. Nay. Let's see, maybe hands up from before. Does anyone want to come up? Are you guys starting to get the connection? Yeah, come on out, Pauline. Perfect. And then Jeff,
I can say that I had an aha.
Tell.
And that is that I have my starting point. And now that I have my starting point, I am ready to do my video. And I have never been able to say that before, so thank you.
Wow, that was easy. It'll definitely develop, which is awesome. So happy to hear that from you because it is so cool. And you're like, all I needed is how to start, right?
Yeah.
And that's what happened. So awesome, rock solid. I can't wait to see how it develops. And you'll put that on the Facebook page, upload it to YouTube and pop it on that Facebook page, or just directly upload it to Facebook as well so we can really look at it and I can critique you guys. And it's never going to be bad critiquing. It's going to be a start point because it'll always grow and it'll always get better. But it's great. I'm glad to hear that. Yay. One big win. Jeff, come on out here. Come on out here, Jeff. You want to jump on out, buddy? There you go.
Yeah, thanks. So for this video, what you're really looking for is basically how did we get to the place that we are now? And what?
You're asking, is that a question?
What else?
You're asking that as a question, okay. What you're going to do is really going to talk about what your story is. Why are you here, right? You shared that with me. That was part of your vision, right? So your story right now is really a connecting piece. You can begin to connect to your full audience. And then after we get your story outlined, really, why am I here? You tell a little bit about yourself. What was a breaking moment that you really had that made you say, gosh, I'm doing this because I've got a bigger vision, right? And so share part of your vision. Don't worry about the details. I'll go into all the details, the calls to action, how to close a good video, all that stuff. I'll get into that later. Right now, it's about you just starting to look at what is that main reason why I'm at where I am right now and share that of how you got there, because that's just the core, right? We've got a solution. that you have a solution, right, for people that are looking for the same thing you were. But right now, we're just talking about what is the story, right, about you, is why you chose where you're at now and why people want to follow you. Because, see, we could talk about our bigger story, but is that going to connect with a customer? It might be nice to see it,
Right.
right? But right now, guys, we're doing this because we
Yep.
run a business, right? Yeah, so it is different. Yeah, awesome. Great question. I mean, it's huge because I do see that sometimes people go on both sides of the fence and they're like, but what is it that I talk about? Is it my old story over here? No, well, we're in a business. We got to talk about the business side. That's what we're building as a business brand. Okay, it's going to help you just get your thoughts in order, your messages in order, and be just totally known of who you are. Pretty simple. It's like a little package you carry around all the time. You got all your stuff together. But when you're all over the place, and you're just throwing links out and sharing stuff and hoping somebody buys something, we're losing from the start. Okay? Can it work that way? Absolutely. But you guys are here for a different reason. You're here to create a very solid foundation that grows. Okay? Cool. All right. All right. All right. Cool. So most hands are down. All right. Good. So yeah, what we're gonna do? Yeah. Good. You guys are great. Yay. Okay. Charmaine, feel free to jump on out. I saw that you had it fixed now. So if you want to jump on out, I'd love to have you jump on out. Yeah.
Hey there, so sorry about that before.
Okay.
I heard you calling out to me.
It's all right.
Yes, look, I think for me, I have been struggling to kind of get my story together because, you know, some of the things that I've been through in my life have been really hard to deal with. And I think one is just being able to be open with that and upfront with that, even just with myself. So I've really had an epiphany actually just going through this now with you, because now I've actually found the clarity on how to actually tackle that. So I'm ready. I'm ready.
Jeez, I mean, is it really this easy? Well, this is just the part. Yeah, but it's good. That's what happens. And I'm happy. You don't understand how exciting that makes me feel, because once we get the start point, guys, and a lot of you guys might be going, "Ooh, I'm still not there yet." That's okay. Remember, I said it's like popcorn. One thing is going to be shared by the group, and you resonate with it, and bam, you run. That's why we do it this way. So I want you guys just be very open to this flow. 2 or 3 people might be in one session that get it. The other 6 to 10 are like, don't get it. I'm not there yet. That's okay, because you may be getting something else and you might bring that to the table that no one else thought of. Okay. This workshop is about all of you. Okay. I always have an outline. I always know what really should be covered in order for you guys to be really clear and get out of here, clearly. Although there's some things that just get covered differently, right? And we just might do something completely off topic that works for everyone. Okay, so this is great stuff. So yes, right now what we're going to do, you guys will go into your week 1. I'm going to share with you guys a couple more things before I go. And I always I'm always on time, but I will go a little bit later sometimes. That I am such a time freak. First off, because I respect you. And I also respect my family, right? Because you guys have days, I have my family to attend to, and it's important that we all respect and care for each other in a nurturing way. So I'm just going to take a couple more minutes and we'll close up. We'll send you guys off this week. But remember, on that fan page, right, you'll be posting these up. We don't chitty chatty there. That is on purpose. We work on purpose. We get a story done. We post it up and say, okay, this is where I'm at. I have a question about this, this, and this. Or I'd love your input. Tag me in it so I know. Right? Everything that we do in this workshop is on purpose. It's not to hang out and to be friends. We will become friends. But this, I've got a purpose to work with you, to get some things done with you. And if we all work that way, we are going to nail it. Okay? So this week, you're going to go through week 1's homework. There's special notes. It's going to walk you through each piece we just did. You guys will be like, "Oh, this is so much easier than I thought." I actually did think about this thing before I put us up to it. Let's see if I have that. Let me see if I brought it. No, I didn't bring it out. Okay. I wanted to see if I had brought it out for you. Is you'll work through each section, and then at the end you'll shoot your video. Okay, you'll do the notes. Remember, copy paste those notes so you know that what they are, and then you're going to shoot a video in a video, and you can write it. You will be writing it. Next week you will be putting it in print. So if you want to do one or the other first, great. You will be writing it because there's very, very, very special ways that you're going to write your story, get it out to the world so that they really connect with you. And some people read, right? I do both. I have both. And this way it will completely make you different than anyone that is on the internet, right? Other than people that have worked with me, because anyone's worked with me, right? I've offered this to all the top marketers, and a lot of you work with Justin. This was part of my learning that I shared because I've worked with Jabril for a long time. I shared it with Justin, and that's why Justin's now sharing the way he does, right? Because this is how we take something so amazingly valuable and bring it out. Okay. And when we take our story and get it out this way, the way we edit it for visual appearance, and that we'll get to that piece, the way we put it in a video, and the way we share it in print with a gorgeous picture that people relate to, boom, all of a sudden now Facebook becomes a big marketing pool of leads for you, right? If you do it the best way and you do it focused. Okay. So what we'll do is we're going to look at obviously what's differentiating you guys. And again, a story just connects you to all elements of human nature. That's why we use stories. We use our video, we connect, and then we break that story up and turn it into segments that connect with specific customers that we've got for more and better connected marketing. Okay. Awesome. All right, cool. And then right on. All right. So here's a couple brands I always like to share because of course it'll allow you to start focusing and connecting on the different types of brand. This one, of course, is the valued, ethical type of brand, right? A more giving piece, but they're here to make money, right? They're still a company that makes money, but their foundation has more values connected, right? Of giving. Others can be, really a fun personality style brand. Let's see that it's not switching my slides. You can have a fun personality brand, right? That's really just shows who you are. Like ours, the Unstoppable Family. We do some fun stuff, right? This guy rides his Harley all over the world, and that's his style. Like that's what he does, and it's what he's known for. He writes stories to Harley guys. He connects with guys in Harleys. It's powerful. More can be more from your roots. Like I've got a girl that's Italian, and she really sticks to her Italian roots. Right. So there's ways that you guys can start using your brand and sharing it, right? With a visual appeal, attitude, right? These guys are the style. And so we really start to look at some areas, and these are some slides that you're going to see in week 1 that'll help you walk through it. So guys, we are at a little bit past the bottom of the hour. It's been really a great class. I hope you guys learned a lot. Thank you, Beth. What I'd like to do, guys, is if you will, let's see a share of hands because I always do it from the majority. At 12 o'clock Eastern, do you guys want to keep it? Will be first one. I'll say 12, you put your hand up, or 3 o'clock Eastern. Right? I know I'm not going to reach everyone, but we will do our best if we need to stagger them if we have to. Let's see if one is better than the other. Is anyone up for 12 o'clock Eastern, which is start same time as today? Hands up if that's your best time. Okay. What about, now put your hands down. And what about 3 o'clock Eastern? Okay, not everyone voted. Some of you don't care. Okay, as an overall, it's almost everyone's a 3. I can communicate. We'll look at the times the best way because it always was set for noon. If we need to adjust, I can do a little bit of a stagger. If someone absolutely cannot be here, of course everything is recorded. But I want to make sure that the class that you really need to come and share at that you can be on. So I will interact with a couple of you guys in regards to those times. And I will send an email to all of you guys directly. Make sure you guys are on our email list. I think every one of you were. If you're not, it was in the email. I know the links got really goofed up. I have no idea what happened. Some of them are schedule got canceled and the dates were weird. GoToWebinar doesn't adjust things right away for some reason. I know, so it looks a little confusing, but just know that you're here and it's all going to continue. Next Wednesday, we will count on right now at keeping it at noon, and I will communicate with everyone this week that we may be switching it to 3 p.m. Eastern, which sounds like a better time for most. If there's a couple that are staggered off to the end, I want to communicate with you to make sure it works the best for you. So guys, have an amazing night. Thank you for your sharing and for being part of this workshop. I'm so pumped to work for the next 4 weeks with you to completely get you branded and to be complete rock stars out there. So guys, thanks. I have a great one. Make sure you do your video, post it on the Facebook page, and bring it to the group so that everyone can really see what you've done, and share some of your breakthroughs and ask some of your questions there as well. And we will see you next week. And let's get you branded. Go out and be unstoppable, guys. Have a great one. And this will be posted up on our YouTube channel as well. Just so you guys know, it will be posted up. I'll get them complete. I'll email them to you, and it will be posted up on our channel. All right? Awesome.